Welcome back. This is day, I think 5, maybe even day 6 of the book, The Four Agreements, a Toltec Wisdom book. I'm Tracy Lene, and this ain't audible. I will be reading and commenting on what I read, sharing my experiences, never to offend anyone. So if you get offended, please charge it to my head and not my heart. It's never my place or never my desire to want to offend anyone. If you like this video at the end, I would love it if you click the like. And if you would like to share it, I would love it if you do that. And above all, I would love it if you subscribe. Thank you. Let's get ready. We talked about the first 3 agreements. The first one is to be impeccable with your word. The second agreement is to not take anything personal. The third one is to not make any assumptions. And you can look at the videos. And if you just starting to find me today, go back and start at the beginning. You can always do it while you're driving in your car, while you're cleaning your house, while you're sewing or crocheting or knitting or whatever the amazing things you guys do. This jumpsuit I have, when I made this jumpsuit circa, can't really see it, circa 2015. Yeah, wow, it's long ago. And while I've gained at least 35 pounds, it used to be too big for me. Now it's like, anywho, let's get started. The fourth agreement, always do your best. There's just one more agreement, but it's the one that allows the other 3 to become deeply ingrained habits. The fourth agreement is about the action of the first 3. Always do your best. Under any circumstance, and always do your best, no more and no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. That's the important part. Some days you may just be struggling to not, and just to keep it real, not take your car and drive it into a tree. So do your best not to drive into a tree. That's the best you may be able to have for that day. Everything is alive and changing all the time. So your best will sometimes be high quality, and at other times it will be not as good. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be better than when you are tired at night. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whether you are feeling wonderful and happy or upset, angry, or jealous. If you're a person who gets set off really easy, your best may be to just take a few deep breaths after you've blown up a little bit and calm yourself down. That may be the best you have at that moment. If you're a person like me who's just kind of jovial most of the times, in the moments where I'm not really jovial, I do my best to just be on a level 5 of jovial of most people, when usually I'm on like a level 500, because I am really a happy person. I really haven't had anything in my life that was so tragic. Most of the things that have happened to me has been me either not accepting a person after they showed me who they are, or me touching the hot stove knowing it's hot. It's me. I've done these things to myself and I own it. I've been blessed I was raised very well with good parents who loved me. I didn't know who my birth father was until I was 25. I didn't even know the dad that was my dad wasn't my dad until I was 15, but that's for another time. Let me keep reading. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be better than when you're tired at night. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, sober as opposed to drunk. Your best will depend on whether you're feeling wonderful and happy or upset, angry, or jealous. Let me say, my mother knew who my father was, and everybody around me knew that. The person who was raising me, who gave me my name, he knew too that he was not my birth father, but they weren't going to tell me. They were just going to let me not know. But some little nosy child whose mother knew told her, and she told me. In your everyday moods, your best can change from one moment to another, from 1 hour to the next, from one day to another. Your best will also change over time. As you build the habit of the 4 new agreements, your best will become better than it used to be. When I first started my yoga journey, teaching yoga in 2009, I was a beast. There are things that I could do that now the best I can do is look at somebody else doing it. And there are things that I could do then that I can still do a headstand, but I have to prep a lot more. I can't take both my legs up at once. I have to do one leg at a time. That's my best. There was a time when I could plop down and plop both of my legs up and stay up for 8 minutes. Now I can do 8 minutes up against the wall, but not in the middle of the floor, because that's not my best anymore. At 55 and having not just the extra weight, but after COVID, not teaching a whole lot, it's changed. Now with the shoulder injury, my God, life has changed, but I still do my best. Regardless of the quality, keep doing your best. No more and no less than your best. If you try too hard to do more than your best, that's another thing, your best, not somebody else's best. If you're a basketball player and you're not Kobe Bryant, so don't do Kobe Bryant's best, do your best. If you try too hard to do more than your best, you will spend more energy than is needed, and in the end, your best will not be enough. And there's some people who your best is not good enough for. That's not your fault. That's not your responsibility. That's them. Their standard may be here, and your best may be here, and it's okay. Get out the way so they can find somebody that meets their best. It's not you, and that's okay. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means that you don't fit what they need. Maybe you're not good enough for them, and that's okay too. When you overdo, you deplete your body and go against yourself. It will take you longer to accomplish your goal. But if you do less than your best, you subject yourself to frustration, self-judgment, guilt, and regrets. Just do your best. And not your fake best. Not your, I did the best I could. Not eat 5 cupcakes. No, you didn't. Because all you had to do is walk out that room after the first cupcake. So you didn't do your best. You wanted all 5 of them cupcakes. Am I looking in the mirror and talking? I think I am. Now, I don't do that anymore, but I used to do that. And then go, I tried. No, I didn't. I tried to inhale them. That's about all I tried to do. And just do your best in any circumstances in your life. It doesn't matter if you're sick or tired. If you always do your best, there's no way you can judge yourself. And if you don't judge yourself, there's no way you're going to suffer from guilt, blame, and self-punishment. By always doing your best, you will break a big spell that you have been under. There was a man who wanted to transcend his suffering, so he went to a Buddhist temple to find a master to help him. He went to the master and asked, "Master, if I meditate 4 hours a day, how long will it take me to transcend?" The master looked at him and said, "If you meditate 4 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 10 years. Thinking he could do better than the man, he said, "Oh, master, what if I meditated 8 hours a day? How long will it take me to transcend?" The master looked at him and said, "If you meditate 8 hours a day, perhaps you will transcend in 20 years. "But why will it take me longer if I meditate more?" the man asked. The master replied, "You are not here to sacrifice your joy or your life. You are here to live, to be happy, and to love. If you can do your best in 2 hours of meditation, but you spend 8 hours instead, you will only grow tired, miss the point, and you won't enjoy your life. Do your best, and perhaps you will learn that no matter how long you meditate, you can live, love, and be happy." In doing your best, if somebody tells you that your best is not good enough for them, again, whose problem is that? It's not your problem. Your best is your best. Your best. You are really in competition against yourself. It is never any competition outside of you. It's always you against you, period. Ain't nobody competing against you, and you ain't competing against nobody. You are competing against yourself. And when you can take that and look in the mirror and say, "Hey, what you got for me today, huh? We got this today." You will live a better life because your competition is you. I'm my own competition. Nobody else is my competition, just me. It's Tracy against Tracy, always. Now that I know that, I live my life more authentically. Doing your best, you're going to live your life intensely. You're going to be productive. You're going to be good to yourself because you will be giving yourself to your family, your community, and to everything. But it is the action that is going to make you feel intensely happy. When you always do your best, you take action. Doing your best is taking action because you love it, not because you're expecting a reward. Most people do exactly the opposite. They only take action when they expect a reward, and they don't enjoy the action. And that's the reason why they don't do their best. Lots of people will help you, and then if they need help and you are not able to do it, they say, "After all I've done for you, you can't help me?" Then they didn't do it. They did it for a reward. Parents, we do that a lot. We say, "Oh, I raised you, and look at how you're doing me." Did you raise them to get stuff, or did you raise them because they were your children and that was your job? Yes, they should be able to be there for you, but if they're not there for you, do you want to take back your stellar raising? No. You just say, "Well, I got this, boo." At least that's what you should say. For example, most people go to work every day just thinking of payday and the money they will get from the work they are doing. They can hardly wait for Friday or Saturday, whatever day they receive their money, and can take time off. They are working for the reward, and as a result, they resist work. They try to avoid the action, and it becomes more difficult, and they don't do their best. Well, I do for both. I would not do all I do for free because I got to pay bills, but I do expect a paycheck, but I do give my best. I know that I do far more than a paycheck because if you were to pay me for what I do, I would be up there in the billionaire status, and most of you would too. Most. Some people not. If every day you go to work, you're going, oh my God, 2 more days to Friday, 3 more days to Friday, you're in the wrong job. It should be more like, oh my God, is it Friday already? Wow. That doesn't mean that every time it's going to be like that. But if you don't have more of the days where you feel so good about your job, you're in the wrong profession. I just started teaching 2 years ago, so I haven't experienced teacher burnout. I see it, but I haven't experienced it. I'm still loving being there. Do I love the behavioral problems the children have? No. Do I love that parents are enablers? No. But do I love those children with all my heart? Yes. Are some of them I wish I could love them enough to give them a nice little spanking? Yes. But I know I can't do that. So I have to find other ways to do it. And I have to turn off my petty, because I'm an adult and you're a child. And the reality of it is, as adults, we could slice them up with our petty, but I have to not do that. Even when they're woosah. Anywho, I talked about that. They can hardly wait to die. They're working for the reward. Okay. They work so hard all week long, suffering the work, suffering the action, not because they like to, because they feel they have to. I don't do nothing just because I feel I have to. No. And I think that in the past, that may be why I had financial struggles, because if I didn't want to do it, I didn't do it. But sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do so you can get to the part where you can do the things you want to do. They have to work because they have to pay the rent, because they have to support their family. They have all that frustration. And when they do receive their money, they are unhappy. They have 2 days to rest, to do what they want to do. And what do? They try to escape. They get drunk because they don't like themselves. They don't like their life. There are many ways we hurt ourselves. We don't like who we are. I don't like the way liquor tastes. It burns when it goes down, and it's nasty. And it's full of sugar. I don't need them extra calories. I'd rather have cupcakes. On the other hand, if you take action just for the sake of doing it without expecting a reward, you will find that you enjoy every action you do. The rewards will come. I promise you the rewards come. They always come. Just do the thing. Somebody's always watching. Whether you know it or not, people are always watching. So you do your best at everything and give all you can give. You go that extra mile, and there will be a day when that extra mile will pay off and you'll be like, whoa, okay, I got this. Okay, what was that? Rewards will come, but you are not attached to the reward. Like, if you, don't get me wrong, if you are supposed to receive a certain amount of pay and your check is short, then that means that they didn't keep their contractual agreement, and you have every right to say, no, this was the contractual agreement, so this is what I deserve. But if you already know what your paycheck gonna be, why every Friday you go, oh my God, I need more money than this? Then do something else, baby. Do something else. There is so much money out there to be had. It really is. I was watching on YouTube that somebody was selling air in a jar, and they had made themselves almost millionaire status from air in a jar. Air in a jar. And they were sending the air from like places with great air, like Colorado and places, I don't know, well, Utah, I don't know, and bottling it up, and people were buying it. Air in a jar. Y'all, I looked at that and said, and here I am making all these beautiful clothes and jewelry, meditation videos and all the things I do, and journals that are great, and they making money selling air. So there's money to be made. You can even get more than you would have imagined for yourself without expecting a reward. If we like what we do, we always do our best. Then we are really enjoying life. We are having fun. We don't get bored. We don't have frustrations. I love what I do teaching, and I love what I do creating. I love it. Do I want to be a millionaire? Yes. I want to be a billionaire, but I want to start at millionaire. And then once I get to be a millionaire, then I can start seeing billionaire. I'm not one that can leap from thousandaire to billionaire. I'll just frustrate myself. Like, I'm not one that can go, I'm going to lose 40 pounds. I'm starting with 8 pounds. I'm like, I'm going to lose 8 pounds by the end of the summer, because then that helps me. Everybody's different. You may be that one and go, nope, I'm going from where I am to 40 pounds, and you may be able to do it. When I had to leave coffee alone because of my blood pressure, I did that cold turkey because I ain't playing with my life. And I just stopped, immediately stopped on a dime, and I'm not ever going back. And it's been over 6 months now, and I feel good. When you do your best, you don't give the judge the opportunity to find you guilty or to blame you. People will say, that's not your best. And you have to feel good about yourself and not take it personal and know that's your best. If you have done your best and the judge tries to judge you according to your book of law, you've got the answers. I did my best. There are no regrets. I like that. There are no regrets. That is why we always do our best. It is not an easy agreement to keep, but this agreement is really going to set you free. When you do your best, you learn to accept yourself, but you have to be aware and learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes means you practice. Look honestly at the results and keep practicing. This increases your awareness. Just because you make a mistake, it doesn't mean you're a terrible person. Just because you do something and it doesn't work out the way you thought, it's a learning experience. You can write it down. The thing is, you always win. You either learn or you win, but you still win because learning is winning if you understand that. You're always a winner. You are always a winner if you learn. It's like in the poem Ego Tripping, where Nikki says, even my errors are correct. I love that part. Even my errors are correct. She's talking about as if she's in God and ego tripping. I was born in the Congo. You know that one? You should look it up. It's Nikki Giovanni, Ego Tripping. I used to perform that one. I think I remember some of it. Maybe I'll perform it for you guys one day. I got to look over it first. Anyway. Doing your best really doesn't feel like work because you enjoy whatever you are doing. You know you're doing your best when you are enjoying the action or doing it in a way that will not have negative repercussions for you. You do your best because you want to do it, not because you have to do it, not because you're trying to please the judge, and not because you're trying to please other people. I find you may not be somebody that looks into zodiacs hard, but I find that Virgos really always do their best. But Virgos will try to outdo you. They really will. They have this work ethic, a lot of them, the ones that I've met. They'll, like, if you're going to practice 4 hours for something, they're going to practice 16. Whereas with me, having the sun sign of Gemini and the rising sign of Cancer, and then my moon is in Pisces, that gives me a whole bunch of stuff. Whereas I can be very emotional, but you don't hurt my feelings. So that's that Gemini part where you hurt my feelings, but I can be emotional and get really into something. And then having that moon in Cancer, I can disappear from your ass quick, fast. I give you a lot of chances. I will give you 1,002 chances on a Tuesday, but on that Wednesday, you get no chances. If I have been on that floor acting like a doormat and you keep walking all over me, the day I get up is the day I get up. What is that? Okay. If you take action because you have to, then there is no way you're going to do your best. Then it is better not to do it. No, you don't. No, you do your best because you're doing your best all the time makes you, let me go back. No, you do, no, I think this is the wrong no. No, you do your best because doing your best all the time makes you so happy. I think it meant the other no. It's the no. Okay, anyway. When you are doing your best just for the pleasure of doing it, you are taking action because you enjoy the action. Action is about living fully. An example would be you have to work at Wawa. If you're not familiar with that's a gas station, because you don't have another job, but you have bills to pay. And you don't want to do that. But when you get there, instead of attaching Wawa to you don't want to do the work, so you know what? Wawa means I don't have the stress of not paying my bills. So I'm going to do my best at this. I like to do it because I like paying my bills. You may have to reframe it if you're doing a job that you don't want to do. And in the meantime, you're working on what you really want to do so that you can launch yourself. Action is about living fully. Inaction is the way that we deny life. Inaction is sitting in front of the television every day for years because you are afraid to be alive and to take the risk of expressing what you are. Expressing what you are is taking action. You can have many great ideas in your head, but what makes the difference is the action. Without action upon an idea, there will be no manifestations, no results, and no reward. A good example of this comes from the story about Forrest Gump. He didn't have great ideas, but he took action. He was happy because he always did his best at whatever he did. He was richly rewarded without expecting any reward at all. Taking action is being alive. We call people like Forrest Gump touched, but maybe they touched with the ability to know you ain't got to take everything so goddamn serious. It's taking the risk to go out and express your dream. This is different than imposing your dream on someone else because everyone has the right to express his or her dream. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Everyone, including the people you're judging, has the right to express his or her dream. Everyone has the right to express his or her dream. Now, it's a nightmare if your dream is hurting other people. That's not a dream, that's a nightmare, and you don't get to do that without a consequence. Doing your best is a great habit to have. I do my best in everything I do and feel. Doing my best has become a ritual in my life because I made the choice to make it a ritual. There we go with that choice. Every morning, get up and say, I choose to be my best. I choose to be the best version of myself today. And get dressed. You ain't never got to go out the house looking crazy. It's never a reason, ever an excuse. Or I just run into the store. You can run to the store looking better than that. Get your butt back in the house to look better than that. Take a bath. Brush your teeth. Look decent. Wash your face. You ain't got to put makeup on, but put some lotion on your face. Show up looking your best. It's a belief like any other belief that I choose. I make everything a ritual, and I always do my best. Taking a shower is a ritual for me, and with that action, I tell my body how much I love it. I do. I get in the shower. I saw this on another channel that I like, You Are Creators. He says when you're getting in the shower, so I take a shower at night and one in the morning. I take a shower at night because I can't get in the bed with the day on me. It just feels weird. So I get in the shower and at first I get in it and I let the water come over me. Before I put soap on my body, I put the water on me. I'm like, all of the stuff that wasn't good today, I'm washing it off of me. And I visualize it washing off me, going down in the drain. Then I take the soap, I use those loofah gloves, and I scrub. And I'm like, scrubbing off anything that thinks it's going to get stuck to me. You don't get to stay with me. Who do you think you are? I am Tracy. I do that. And you may think, oh my God, this girl is... And I am for myself. I'm crazy about me. I had to learn to get there. So I do that. I do that, and I take that shower, and I rinse it off, and I talk to God, and do all of that. So where we are, he says, I tell my body how much I love it. I feel and enjoy the water on my body. I do my best to fulfill the needs of my body. I do my best to give my body and to receive what my body gives to me. If you're not doing any of these things and you're depressed, why not try it? It cannot hurt to do something different. If you're not happy with what you're doing, try something different. You just never know. In India, they perform a ritual called puja. In this ritual, they take idols that represent God in many different forms and bathe them, feed them, and give their love to them. They even chant mantras to these idols. The idol itself is not important. What is important is the way they perform the ritual, the way they say, I love you, God. God is life. God is life in action. God means force and power. The best way to say I love you, God, is to live your life doing your best. It really is. You're present. That God gave you that gift. The best thing you can do is show up and use that gift. If I gave you a gift, let's say I bought you your favorite dress or pantsuit if you're a man, and I saw you rolling around in the mud outside, and you think I'm buying you another one? No. But if I saw you have pride in that dress or that suit I gave you, I'm like, let me give him another one. Oh, I love the way he asked, because it makes me feel good to see you feeling good. So when someone gives you something, you treat it well, right? And when someone, like when we have children and we give them toys, if they keep breaking them up, a good parent does not give them any more toys. You say, nope, I'm taking this away from you. That's the same with your heart. When you extend your heart, don't ever give your heart to anybody else. That's a no-no. You keep your heart for yourself, but you can extend and let that person in your heart. And they misuse you, misabuse your trust. They lie, they steal, they cheat, they hijack your life. You have to say, you know what? You can't be in this old heart, in that space. I'm putting this part over here. I will love you because I'm a child of God and so are you. But you have misused it. So I'm going to take back what I gave you and hold it until I can give it to somebody better. Okay. God is life in action. The best way to say I love you, God, is to live your life doing your best. The best way to say thank you, God, is by letting go of the past and living in the present moment right here and now. If you're in a situation and someone did some things in the past, but they are no longer living in that, and you are still stuck back there, they should leave you alone. But if they are still doing the same thing and pretending like, oh, that's the past, but they're still doing it, you got to make some decisions, because that's the now. Do you want to now keep living the past? Now? No, you don't. Whatever it takes. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. If somebody walks out your life, say, bye-bye. I know it's going to hurt, and it's okay that it hurts. You'll get over it. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully alive in the moment. I don't think I'm going to read all of this today. It's a lot of pages, and I'm at 24 minutes. I guess if I just read and shut my mouth up, but I can't do that. Okay. Okay. Letting go of the past means you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now. If you live in a past dream, you don't enjoy what is happening right now because you will always wish it to be different than it is. There is no time to miss anyone or anything because you are alive. Not enjoying what is happening right now is living in the past or being only half alive. This leads to self-pity, suffering, and tears. And I've been there. I spent a good portion of my life worried about what somebody else was doing and living in the past and living in their life that I wasn't enjoying mine. The moment God said, hey, hey, my child, what you doing? And I said, I'm sorry. Okay. God said, take down this pen and paper. This is what I want you to do. God started just talking to me, telling me what to do. Leave that, move this, do this. And I started obeying God. From 2015 to 2017, and I'm not exaggerating, I did not watch any television at all. I would watch YouTube videos on how to get better. I would watch them on sewing and knitting and making jewelry and spiritual things. And I was teaching yoga and I was doing more, but I left the television and the shows alone because God said, I need your full mind. Just like when I was 20 and I became a vegetarian because I went to the mountains and I heard Moses. I'm not joking and I'm not touched. I heard Moses and Moses said to me, stop eating meat. And I said, well, I don't eat beef or pork. And Moses said, stop eating all meats. I need your mind right now. And anything with a thought process is interfering with what I need you to do. So stop. I stopped on a dime. And for 7 years, I didn't eat any meat until I got pregnant with my son, my oldest son. Then I started eating chicken because the doctor told me at that time, you got to eat chicken or his brain ain't going to be here. And so I did. They know now that's not true. But I believed it. And I don't regret believing it. But I ain't been able to put that yard bird down since. Anywho, I'm saying all that to say, just talking, to say, at every point in my life, even before I knew this book, if you pointed out something to me, I tried to do my best. And when my best wasn't good enough for somebody else, I tried to do their best. I tried to live up to their best. And people will keep moving the goal. So I was in a situation like that. So finally I said, I don't want to run that race. I'm going to go on back over here on my track and run my race. And you might want to do the same thing. You were born with the right to be happy. I'll say it again. You were born with the right to be happy. You were born with the right to love, to enjoy, and to share your love. You are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. You don't have to let people tell you how to live your life. You really don't. I know in marriages, there has to be compromise. But when you have a partner that truly loves themselves, their compromise may be, y'all can't be, going out the marriage. That's not what either one of y'all should want to do. But if that's what y'all want to do, you agree upon it. I ain't here to tell you what to do. That ain't none of my business. As Tabitha says, that's not my business. Don't resist life passing through you because that is God passing through you. Just your existence proves the existence of God. Let me say that again. Just your existence proves the existence of God. I came to be, and it couldn't be nothing but the Lord, because my mother was a teenager and she was not out there in them streets. She decided to have, for the first time, and look who's here. I always say, I'm just like Jesus. I came from a virgin. If my mom is watching this, she's going to be so frustrated. I'm telling her business. But my mother is amazing. And I am who I am because of my mother, because she always let me have a free spirit. She never let people in our family try to tell me how to be Tracy. She like, nope, that's Tracy. That's what she does. She allowed me to do that. The thing that my mother cured me of early, though, is lying. When I was a little girl, I used to lie all the time. I just lied just to lie. I think I just loved to lie. I was a little girl, though. But my mama cured me of that because she knew that if she did not cure me of that, then I would grow up to be a liar. So I went all the way to the opposite side. I tells the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help me God. Anyway, your existence proves the existence and life and energy of God. We don't need to know or prove anything. Just be. To take a risk and enjoy your life is all that matters. Say no when you want to say no, and yes when you want to say yes. You have the right to be you. You can only be you when you do your best. When you don't do your best, you are denying yourself the right to be you. I'm going to go ahead and finish reading. I know that some people don't have a lot of time, but I think this needs to be finished, this agreement, and I'm talking, so you could always do it when you're on a road trip. Listen when you're on a road trip, or you might turn it off. I know we like our mocha latte frappuccino in 3 seconds, and if it's not in 3 seconds, then we're mad. But what you rushing for? You know the end result is death. Slow down a bit. Sit up. Kick your feet up. Stay a spell. You can only be you when you do your best. When you don't do your best, you are denying yourself the right to be you. That's a seed that you should really nurture in your mind. You don't need knowledge or great philosophical concepts. You don't need the acceptance of others. Let me say that again. You don't need the acceptance of others. You express your own divinity by being alive and by loving yourself and others. It is an expression of God to say, hey, I love you. The first 3 agreements will only work if you do your best. Don't expect that you will always be impeccable with your word. Your routine habits are too strong and firmly rooted in your mind. But you can do your best. Don't expect that you will never take anything personal. Just do your best. Don't expect that you will never make another assumption, but you can certainly do your best. The more you practice it, you'll get better at it. By doing your best, the habits of misusing your word or taking things personally and making assumptions will become weaker and less frequent over time. You don't need to judge yourself, feel guilty, or punish yourself if you cannot keep these agreements. If you're doing your best, you will feel good about yourself, even if you still make assumptions, still take things personally, and still are not impeccable with your word. If you do your best always, over and over again, you will become a master of transformation. Practice makes the master. By doing your best, you become a master. Everything you have ever learned, you learn through repetition. You learn to write, to drive, and even to walk by repetition. You are a master of speaking in your language because you practice. Action is what makes the difference. If you do your best in the search for personal freedom and the search for self-love, you will discover that it's just a matter of time before you find what you are looking for. It's not about daydreaming or sitting for hours dreaming in meditation. You have to stand up and be a human. You have to honor the man or woman that you are. Respect your body, enjoy your body, love your body, feed, clean, and heal your body. Exercise and do what makes your body feel good. This is a puja for your body, and that is a communion between you and God. You don't need to worship idols of the Virgin Mary, the Christ, or the Buddha. You can if you want to, if it feels good to do. Your own body is a manifestation of God, and if you honor your body, everything will change for you. When you practice giving love to every part of your body, you plant seeds of love in your mind, and when they grow, you will love, honor, and respect your body immensely. Every action then becomes a ritual in which you are honoring God. After that, the next step is honoring God with every thought, every emotion, every belief, even what is right or wrong. Every thought becomes a communion with God, and you will live a dream without judgments, victimizations, and free of the need to gossip or abuse yourself. And it is possible. There are people who've done it. You may not know them because they may not be on social media, but there are people who are living fully in their Godship, and they are happy, and they are not po on the side of the road, because poverty is a mental illness. When you honor these 4 agreements together, there is no way that you will live in hell. There is no way, if you are impeccable with your word, if you don't take anything personal, if you don't make assumptions. If you always do your best, then you are going to have a beautiful life. You are going to control your life 100%. The 4 agreements are a summary of the mastery of transformation, one of the masteries of the Toltec. Your transformation into hell, you transform hell into heaven. The dream of the planet is transformed into your personal dream of heaven. The knowledge is there. It is just waiting for you to use it. The 4 agreements are there. You just need to adopt these agreements and respect their meaning and power. You just do your best to honor these agreements. You can make this agreement today. I choose to honor the 4 agreements. It is so simple and logical that even a child can understand them. But there's a 5th agreement. I'm going to read that book next. But for now, let's just do this one. But you must have a very strong will to keep these agreements. Why? Because wherever we go, we find that our path is full of obstacles. Everyone tries to sabotage our commitment to these new agreements. As soon as you say, I'm going to be impeccable with my word, here comes somebody that make you feel like you got to tell a lie. As soon as you say, I'm not going to take anything personal, here comes somebody telling you, you look crazy. I don't like that. As soon as you say, I'm going to not make any assumption. Here comes somebody doing something and leaving you on red. You text them and leaving you on red. I'm telling you, it happens because it wants to say, oh, really? Are you serious? Let's see how serious you are. Everything around us is set up for us to break them. The problem is that all the other agreements that are part of the dream of the planet, they are alive and they are very strong. That is why you need to be a great hunter, a great warrior who can defend these 4 agreements with your life. Your happiness, your freedom, your entire way of life depends on it. The warrior's goal is to transcend this world, to escape from this hell and to never come back. As the Toltecs teach us, the reward is to transcend the human experience of suffering to become the embodiment of God. That is the reward. We really need to use every bit of power we have to succeed in keeping these agreements. I didn't expect that I could do it at first. I have fallen many times, but I stood back up again and kept going. And I fell again, and I kept going. And I didn't feel sorry for myself. Let me tell you something. One of the worst things you can do is to have pity on yourself. So, yeah, that pity part, call the caterer, cancel the caterer, tell the DJ I don't need you. Don't rent that building, and just keep moving. You don't need pity parties. No, don't do it. There was no way that I felt sorry for myself. I said, if I fall, I am strong enough. I am intelligent enough. I can do it. I stood up and kept going. I fell and I kept going and going. And each time it became easier and easier. It's just the repetition of it. It's continuously doing it. That's why a person who lies all the time, they just become a liar. And then they lie so much, they don't know the truth themselves. A person who continues to abuse their relationship by going out and having sex with other people, they're going to keep doing it. And then they become that adulterer because they just kept doing it. And now they can't bring themselves back because they've gone too far and they've done so much that they're afraid that somebody's going to tell on them. So they just keep doing it. They never turn around. And that's okay. You don't have to keep somebody like that in your life. And if you are that person, you need to stop. It ain't cute. Taking your body parts on a world tour, thinking that's going to do something. Oh, that's me judging. Oops, I'm not supposed to judge anybody. That should be one of the rules, but I guess it's in one of them. If you're not taking assumptions, then you're not judging. Anywho, let me just shut up. Anyway, so if you fall, you do not judge. Do not give your judge the satisfaction of turning you into a victim. No, be tough with yourself. Stand up and make the agreement again. Okay, I broke my agreement to be impeccable with my word. I will start all over again. I'm going to keep the 4 agreements just for today. That's a good thing. Just say, today I'm going to do it. And every day you say that. That's what happens with people who have had issues with drugs and alcohol. They just say, let me get through today. One day at a time. That's a song. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, 'cause tomorrow may never be mine. Just for today, just help me to take one day at a time. Go look it up. I don't know who's singing down. They sound better than me. Today I will be impeccable with my word. I will not take anything personally. I will not make assumptions, and I am going to do my best. Write it out, because you're writing. You know, scripting is the way to rewire your brain. Something about the pen to the paper. So write all of the 4 agreements out, handwritten, and put them in a frame by your bed. If you break an agreement, begin again tomorrow and again the next day. It will be difficult at first, but each day will become easier and easier until someday you will discover that you are ruling your life with these 4 agreements, and you will be surprised at the way your life has been transformed. You don't need to be religious or go to church every day. Your love and self-respect are growing and growing. You can do it. If I did it, you can do it also. Nobody's better than you, and nobody's worse than you. Everybody's everybody. Don't be concerned about the future. Keep your attention on today and stay in the present moment. Just live one day at a time. Always do your best to keep these agreements, and soon it will be easy for you. Today is the beginning of a new dream, and it's the end of the part of the agreements. Tomorrow, we will talk about how we can break old agreements. I am so grateful that I am doing this because it is me doing my best. I don't know how to edit yet, so you get what you get until I learn those things. But for now, I like that I don't stop, and you just get to see when I bumble and fumble the ball and just come back up. I'm Tracy Lene. I would love it if you would like this video, if you would subscribe to my channel, and you would share it, and if you would join me again tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to get into breaking old agreements. This book is amazing. After this book, we're going to go ahead and read the 5th agreement, and then I'm going to read this book that somebody suggested to me, but I want to get the 5th agreement in first. I love you guys. I mean that. Have a great day. Bye.